Hello, I'm Matthew, and I'm back again, ready to teach you more about HTML. But this time, the tutorials are going to focus more on CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, which is used to style web pages and make fonts and give fonts in all sorts of different colors. So let's start. You see I have my web page here. Hello there. This web page uses CSS to style and help make the web page look better. Included are a font, a background color, text color, and background image. Also, I'll talk about the text size and the span and div tags along with the style element. And enjoy. So I have that file saved. And so one of the main tags for CSS, if you're not having a separate CSS file, which I'll talk about in the next video, which will also be on Cascading Style Sheets, is the style tag. And so you use style, and then the style tag is an attribute type. And so there are different types of styles, but CSS is the most popular, so we're going to put text/CSS, and notice that it's another MIME type, just like text/HTML. And so our /style tag. Now, we don't put regular HTML code in this area here. What goes in here is CSS styling. Now, CSS is like some programming languages. It uses blocks using the brace tags and also has a semicolon at the end of each line. Now, what CSS does is that you define an element like body. So that means when we use an element name and then we start a block of code, that means everything in this block of code will be used to style everything that is in the body element or any other body elements. So since there's only one body element or body tag, we know that it's going to affect everything that you see on the page. So we have body, and then one of the main attributes is color, which is a CSS attribute, and so it's color, a colon, and then the color that you want your page to be. Now, you can have all sorts of different colors, like name them, like blue, gray, gold, green, yellow, but there's also hexadecimal color codes, which I might get to in the future, but let me Google hex color codes. Color. Ha! I make so many spelling mistakes. And so I usually use HexHub HTML color codes. And it's at december.com/html/spec/color.html. And so you have all your colors here. And you see how they have these numbers here with, well, they're really numbers, but they just look like a jumble of numbers and letters. This is the hexadecimal number system, which is a system of numbers that computers use. I won't get too much into it, but it uses the digits 0 to 9 and A through F. And so you can get a wider range of number in the same number of digits. So we have our color here, and so let's put in, I don't know, how about snull3, which is number CD C9C9, copy, then paste. And remember that if you're using a hexadecimal, you have to put the number sign in front all the time. Now let's put a colon there. And before we save the page, oh goodness. Before we save the page, let's go into pages and files and look at our CSS web page right now. See, it doesn't look too stylish to say. It isn't very attractive visually. And so once we save the web page and we refresh, we see that it's that color. Hooray! Now that color doesn't look too good on a white background, but we use the, and remember the semicolon, and so we use the CSS element background color to color the background. And let's see, what do we want to put in for our background against Snow 3? How about maybe a really dark black, or maybe even a gray? So let's put in black and see what happens. And so since it's one of the 16 simple colors that CSS recognizes, we can just put in black. But otherwise it'd be number 000000. And then remember our semicolon. And so we save the page, go to our test web page, and refresh. And ta-da, doesn't it look a lot better? It looks kind of like a console, but look at the font. Now, to change fonts, we use font-family. Now, you'd think you'd use something along the lines of font, but not of just font, but not really. The font family tells if it's serif, where serifs are these little tiny, let's see if I can zoom in, control plus, zoom in, control plus. Alright, see those little bracy thingies on the bottom? Those are serifs. So you can either choose serif or sans serif. And also you can name specific fonts. Like, I want to see if I have the font Bazooka on here, which I'm not sure if I do have it. If you refresh, no, you don't have that font. How about, oh, Wingdings? That's always an interesting font. Goodness. Well, it made it space, but usually you can use something like Trebuchet MS. Ta-da! But also, if you don't want to name a specific font, you can use serif or sans serif. And sans serif is just none of the little hooks or serifs on the bottom. Now that changes it to the font of Arial. And so now we have our font, our color, and our background color. But what about text size or even text alignment? So we use, for text alignment, we use the attribute text align, and then let's say right. You control save, and it justifies to the right. Or center, control save. It puts everything, it makes everything centered. Now it does the same thing as the center tag, but you can't use the text align with the center for tables like I explained in one of the earlier videos. I think it was the second video that I did. And so let's look at, how about, I don't know, I forget what I mentioned earlier. Something. Oh, font size. So size, let's say we want to define a specific size. How about 18 point, control save. Now this is another, oh, text size. Text dash size, control save. Oh, I don't understand what's going on. Size, control save. Oh, font size. There it is. My memory's a little bad. It's been a while since I've done any CSS. Well, this is a good opportunity for me and you to both to learn. W3 schools, not school. Come on. schools. There we go. Now let's look at CSS. About text size, styling text, text alignment, text decoration, text indentation, and then specify color direction. Let's see. Reference A to Z. Control find size. Font size. Oh, so I guess it's used in percentages. So if we want 18% of the normal font size, we'd use that. See how small that is? You can't read it. Or if you wanted to have 108, how about 1800% of the font size, of the normal font size? You'd use that. Hello there, this web page uses CSS to style and help make the web page look better. Included all that we have. Okay. So also you can use pixel measurements. At least I think you can use pixel measurements. Yeah, see, 18 pixels or 180 pixels. Control save. See, and also the pixels varies depending on the computer and your screen resolution. So you mainly want to use percentages. So let's put our font size at, say, 75%. Control save. And refresh. And so also I said I was going to teach you about the span tag. So say you wanted to have a specific style on something, so you'd use the tag span, and then you can use style or class, which I'll get to in the next video what you use the class element for. But span style equals text size, or font size, font dash size. How about 20 pixels? Make sure we include our colon, and then slash span. Control save, and then we refresh and see how included is larger now, and that's how we use the span tag. Now, something the same as the span tag, but can also be used for different purposes, is the div or the div tag. And so we can use also can use style with this. So how about color equals, how about green? Make it look like a Linux console. And slash div, control save, and refresh. Hello there. So you see how you have your little green writing right there? Okay, so also, like I mentioned, I'll talk about the class tag in the next video, and also a little more advanced CSS. So I'm Matt, and I'll see you in the next video on HTML, but mainly on CSS.